Did you come in knowing that you want to specialize in REO, or was it say, nah, I'm gonna do traditional? What was that like?
In my mind, I wanted to do traditional, but once I got into business, I'm very observant.
Mm,
How, how are these people selling 300 and 400 houses a year? And my brother, kind of put me on game because he did the preservation side. And he mentioned a company to me by the name of Altisource. And once I got in with Altisource and started doing the BPOs, and then we started doing light construction for them, and then we realized they had listings. So then from Altisource and then on to HUD and then on to the others, just once you get in the game, you kind of figure out there are other players in it.
What's up, ladies and gents? This is Mike Headley, host of the Headley Group Real Estate Show. The podcast was designed to show business professionals who happens to have a license to sell real estate how you can make money outside of just selling a piece of property. We are talking to entrepreneurs that's making things happen. Continue to tune in. Hey, ladies and gents, how you doing? This is Mike Headley. We are back on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. Every time I tell y'all we have a treat for you, because we typically do, all right? But I really have to highlight this young lady right here. When I say she's going to drop some game on y'all, some inspiration, a couple of Bible verses, anything she can that's talking about her personal experience that will be a plus and a highlight to your life. She's the CEO of Dawson's Realty and Mortgage, which is another company, which is Dawson's Mortgage, Dawson's Management, where she does her government contracting. She's been licensed in the business doing as a real estate professional for 18 years. She's licensed in Georgia as well as South Carolina. Let's give a round of applause to Miss Labrescia Dawson. How you doing, man? I had to roll out the red carpet.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me. That's exciting. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the thing is, one thing about our show, like I said, we keep it honest and we keep it real. I actually met Labrescia at a conference in Go Network a few years ago, and she's always been inspirational. Every time you talk to her, is always positive. She's radiant. She's always willing to share. You get some people don't want to share. She's always willing to share. So I said, Labrescia, what you're doing some wonderful things. We love to have you on the show. And she said, hey, Mike, okay, let's do it. So I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Labrescia, now again, we can start from anywhere, but we're going to take it back to the root. All right, we're going to go back to the root when you got that itch, that edge, and you said, I can sell houses. What was that like?
Okay, so basically I was selling cars. I used to work for a place called Gwinnett Place Ford. And a gentleman came in one day and he was like, what are you doing working here? You're going to become just like them. I'm like, what do you mean just like them? So I did not realize that car salesmen were considered to be like less than honest people. And I did not want to be associated with such titles over my head.
Mm-hmm.
And so he planted the seed, and then another person came in. It was like, you should try real estate. And I'm like, really? So it didn't take long after that. I went and got my real estate license. And then like 3 years later, I went on to get my broker's license. And then maybe a year after that, I opened up Dawson's Realty and Mortgages with Dawson's Realty at the time. And then I said, you know what? I want to get my mortgage broker's license too. So then we changed Dawson's Realty into Dawson's Realty and Mortgages. So I'm always trying to think and grow and, have different verticals just in case something goes wrong with just the real estate.
Mm-hmm. Well, first I want to dive into that a little bit. Typically, something what I did, got my license, became part of a large franchise, and I stayed a little bit. And then I made the transition. It ain't take no time for you. You was out of there.
Because I know in my mind what I'm going to do. And I don't need permission from people that we assume are bigger than us to give me the green light. I know that I want to create an empire. And I know that if I'm good enough to give you a part of my commission, I can create my own commission and keep all of my commission. So I just always kind of thought that way. I think it comes from my father, just instilling that in me as a child. Make sure you have your own. And that has stuck with me from then into now.
Powerful. So let's dive into the realty part. But right before I do that, you got mortgages as well. You was a mortgage officer.
I'm a mortgage.
Okay, so mortgage officer. So, and do you still practice mortgages?
My license is still active. Just
okay.
in case you go down that road.
Okay.
and license active. And because they've changed it now, even though I'm a mortgage broker, you have to have a loan originator's license. So there's
Mm,
a lot of red tape since the fall in 2007, 2008. If I chose to go down that route, and I can actually put loan originators under my license now if I chose to.
mm. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So now we are we are a real estate professional. We're in the field. And by the way, I met Miss Dawson at a REO conference, which is a real estate or bank owned properties conference. And I want to segue to that and say, did you come in knowing that you want to specialize in REO, or was it say, nah, I'm gonna do traditional? What was that like?
In my mind, I wanted to do traditional, but once I got into business, I'm very observant.
Mm,
How, how are these people selling 300 and 400 houses a year? And my brother, kind of put me on game because he did the preservation side. And he mentioned a company to me by the name of Altisource. And once I got in with Altisource and started doing the BPOs, and then we started doing light construction for them, and then we realized they had listings. So then from Altisource and then on to HUD and then on to the others, just once you get in the game, you kind of figure out there are other players in it.
mm. So I take it you enjoyed the all the fruits of the 2007, 8, 9 crash, huh?
Incredible.
Was it? So, and the reason why I bring it up is you get a lot of people say, hey, I want to do REO, I want to get in the business. Would you say similar than traditional or totally different?
It's totally different
Hmm.
because you have money to pay their utility bills and their HOAs and to float you're really floating their contract. So a lot of people
Mm.
don't realize that. And if you don't go back and get reimbursed for the money that you put out, you could be upside down. The biweekly photos and stuff you have to position yourself to understand what outcomes with are you. So yeah.
Mm-hmm, got you. Because it's like, people ask me all the time, hey, listen, you got into that space. Hey, I want to get involved in it. I've always tell them, like you said, you got to have a little bit of capital and you got to have that mindset to be prepared for the 2% commission, 1.5, right? But then you might get 15, 20 of them that kind of make up for it, right? With the minimum stress.
Or if you get HUD, you do get 3%, and then the resource management, you get 3%. So there are some good companies out there.
Got you. So, okay, now you're in this space and you're doing real estate services. Tell us about, because people always want to hear about the juicy stuff. Tell us about a deal that you were a part of, whether it's REO or traditional. Say to yourself, well, I'm glad that's closed, or like walk us through that.
Well, we just had one. And
Oh, really? Okay, okay,
the asset management company was Vendor Resource Management, so it was a VA-owned REO property. It
okay,
was a $500,000 house
okay.
in Hamilton Mill. So I was so excited when I got the thing in the gated community. Okay, so number one, gated, and I'm black. Okay,
Uh-oh.
I couldn't even get through the gate. So
Yeah.
then you got to try to find the HOA company, and I'm like, okay, how do I get the code to this property to manage? You don't own the property, and just the HOAs. That HOA had fined the previous owner before we took possession of the property, or before we took REO, and they had liens on it up to $15,000.
Wow.
Refused to allow us to close on the property. About 8 months later, they were still adding fees on top of that. So by the time we got ready to close, after attorneys later, we were finally able to close that asset. But again, you say you want to do REO, holding costs, the opportunity costs that I lost. You have to factor all of those things into you saying you want to do REO. But we were able to get that closed, but it was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
The HOAs have, even if they don't own the property, it was just a nightmare.
And they want you to pay the HOA out of your pocket. Did you have to pay for that? They get reimbursed? Okay.
Um, uh, VRM dealt with them directly because it was such a large amount.
Okay, such was a large amount. Got you. Okay.
Because in Georgia, you cannot charge after the foreclosure. So VRM would have been responsible for up to foreclosure, after foreclosure date. They would have paid from a year before when the other people were in the house. And it was just all over the place.
It was a lot.
Their guns, and they kept adding fees, and they would just say the grass is not cut, the sidewalk is cracked, change the shutters. I mean, but I'm on both sides, so I do the preservation and I do the
Okay.
listings for them. So it wasn't all bad by the time you put everybody together. And,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So, okay, so okay, you said you are a vendor on the preservation side. I heard without being specific, I heard the margins is pretty small. That's what I've heard.
So, okay, the margins can be small if you're doing the bi-weekly grass cuts. Then it's
Mm,
construction that I'm able to get my crew in and we go do construction, paint, carpet, and in this
okay,
case, that was not the case. So you have to figure out how to figure it out.
figure it out.
Um,
Exactly. I like that. Figure it out how to figure it out. I got you. Let's shift now. COVID-19 hits everybody. Okay, comes out of the blue, hits everybody. Everything comes somewhat at a streaking halt. Um, Walk us through your business. I mean, did it affect it dramatically, or I know you had to pivot a little bit. Walk us through that.
okay, so basically, I'm not just a real estate agent, I'm a business owner. So my
Exactly.
different verticals. On one vertical, we do REO sales. Right now, because of COVID, there is a moratorium, meaning no one in our business, we depend on evictions in order to get listings. There's a moratorium, so no listings are happening right now. So I would have been in a world of trouble had I not pivoted before COVID.
Mm,
That's what led me into government contracting years back, just expanding my business. I own a few properties. So I have Section 8 tenants, and then I have the government contracting piece. And now that we've gotten the
say now save that. I had to interject. We ain't gonna talk about that yet. We're gonna get on that government contract.
Are you looking to join a winning team? Join us as a broker and receive high-level training, mentorship, and an awesome commission structure. If you're interested, visit www.theheadleygroup.com or call us at 336-904-6212. We look forward to partnering with you.
And she do so much, y'all. But go ahead.
Yes. So COVID has been good to me because I'm not just real estate anymore. I'm a business.
Mm.
Always incorporate additional verticals into my company. And that's what you must do. You can't just be a real estate agent. That means you're only as good as the last home that you sold. And if right now, if interest rates go up again, are you contingent upon an interest rate, or are you contingent upon COVID? Outside circumstances. So you have to always think of a way to figure it out.
I love that. So you gave us some inspiration there. Let's dive in. Let's dive in what you said in terms of not a real estate agent, you're a business person, right? Because again, I think we can tap in and inspire some people. What do you really mean by that? Let's get a little more detail with that.
Okay, so I sell properties, but that's not who I am. I have a setup that happens to sell properties, but I do things under my business. I'm a corporation. So I look at myself like QT. I sell gas, chips, sodas. Today, people may not want a soda, but they want
I like
gas.
that. Ooh,
So
I like that.
different ways to offer a product if you say you are a business. So real estate is too many factors that, like, we got all these people that's playing around in our industry now. They may not call you, they may call Open Door, and it's like we're becoming extinct slowly. So you have to figure out and get ahead of the curve. If this is what you say you do, you better figure out how to partner with the players or figure out an additional way to bring extra income into your business, because it's always an interruption, like Uber did the taxi business. Somebody's always coming for your stuff.
You know, it's funny you say that. I was thinking about that the other day. No matter what industry you in, interruption will be coming. Somebody with some high intelligence or with some long money say, well, how can we disrupt this industry with everything, right? I mean, it's everything.
It's everything.
It's always a disruption. So you mentioned moratorium, okay? And we all know that this administration pushed it to June 30th, if I'm not mistaken. Do you see, and I think I got my opinion on, do you see it being pushed back again another 3 months?
I think so, because they're still doing all of these shots, and it would just not be humane to put people out of their houses at this point. Although we make the bulk of our money during that season, I'm a human being first.
Facts.
And I would probably want them to extend it to give people a chance to figure things out a little bit.
And speaking of, I just thought that if they do extend it, we go into the holidays. You know they're going to extend it again. You're not going to put nobody out during Christmas. And so, and also I think I saw somewhere where Congress is trying to pass a debt relief package for tenants as well as mortgage people to try to cover everything on top of student loan debt. So, let's shift now. I mean, I want to save that good meaty stuff, but you brought it out a little early. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you just mentioned all of those relief packages. Do you think that that's a form of reparations for us, or do you think what all of the handouts all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of things. To take care of the immediate needs, it's like kicking the can down the road. Okay, I'm gonna deal with the problem now, but it's going to be a bigger problem later on. Right. So to answer your question, I think that could be. I think it could be just as satisfying now because of it's going to be a black spot on the administration, because they're going to put it on. Because again, they want to run again 3-4 more years from now. They want to have that to their credit. Like, hey, look what we did. It's my spin on that. Let me ask you something. Now, let's shift while we're talking about government. Great segue. Ms. Dawson doing some wonderful things. I mean, she is doing her thing with this government contractor thing. And I believe in education. I believe in, you know better, you do better. She has the stats, the certifications, the diplomas, certificates to prove it. Now, I watched your Facebook page when you was going through your office. How many certificates, diplomas, or degrees do you have?
I don't know. And I'm kind of tired. Like, I think I might be a nerd. I'm not sure, but I just love to learn because
Beautiful.
That is their, I hate to say they because I'm on.
I know where you're going with it.
Yes, Lord.
Correct. So tell us about the certifications, the most, I know you're probably proud of all of them, but the recent certification that you have that's getting you to contract 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I'm a woman-owned small business, and I'm certified with the SBA as a woman-owned small business.
Mm-hmm.
So we get contracts with that vehicle, and I'm also 8A certified. That's the creme de la creme. And that's the one that we were able to get additional contracts based on that certification alone. Government agencies were able to sole source us those contracts without any competition.
So now for the people who don't have as much knowledge, we're within AA, and that's the granddad even more. Was it challenging getting that certification?
Yeah, it's challenging, but not impossible because I have it. And so many people, have it. Mm-hmm. So I would implore people, if they're in a position, to go ahead and start looking into getting that 8A certification, but you don't want to get it too fast because it's only a 9-year program and your clock starts ticking the moment you get that certification. I'm in year number 4.
Okay.
And due to the recent moratorium, we got an extra year tacked onto that.
Nice.
I've got an additional year.
Nice.
Which is wonderful. So I have 6 more years to play around in that space.
Okay. Okay.
Great things with that.
So contracts. I don't know if you're willing to share, or if not, you could just say a lot. Do you have a lot of contracts, or a few, or?
Yeah. So we have 3 federal contracts now. All of those in 2020, and those were the fruits of our labor from like in 2019, I guess. They can be very difficult to get just because you have an 8A. No more than you showing up to a 5-star conference talking about give me an REO account. You gotta earn those accounts. You gotta to build relationships. You don't just get it because you have an 8A. And I'm not showing up saying because I'm a woman, because I'm black, you owe this to me. No, I want to prove myself. That's why I keep educating myself so I can play with the big boys. I'm not gonna beg you. I'm gonna prove to you that I deserve this chance, just like anybody else. Yeah. We the 3 contracts that we got: Army Corps of Engineers. We clean recruiting stations. We clean about 25 recruiting stations. And I like to break it down to real estate agents.
Please.
Imagine you selling a house, the same house, once a month for 5 years. These are 5-year contracts. I get the same money every month off the contract, but they escalate every year. So you put an escalation clause in there. Remember, they're 5-year contracts, but they can renew annually. If you don't do a good job, they can say we're not renewing your contract, even though it is a 5-year contract.
Okay.
So got renewed for one of our. I have an IT contract and a light construction contract with the CDC.
Wow.
And for me, it's like I just can't. I can believe it.
Okay.
And God did it.
God bless you.
in yourself is nothing that you cannot do.
So that when you got that first one, I'm quite sure the elation was just through the roof, right? When you first got the email, does it come on the email form to let you know, hey, congratulations, you won, right?
Yeah. So me, I'm a stalker. You know, when we go to the 5-star conference.
That's right. That's right.
If you get a card from like a HUD person, you're going to be calling that person. So I'm
Correct.
It's not going to be that I didn't know that I already put the work in. I'm looking for that email and that phone call because I've already put the work in. I had went to an industry day about 6 months prior to that award. And the gentleman told us that the people that came out, they're going to start giving contracts to people who take the time to come out. Some people fly here from other places and stuff and go to these industry days. Industry days are when agencies set up to meet you and to tell you about their agencies. And you have so many people like myself trying to get their foot in the door. And they tell you the process, how to make that happen. So he told us that he was going to do it. So you can't tell me that. And I don't know. You lying or not. I'm going to follow up with you. So I continued to follow up with him. I got my SBA rep involved in the process, and I just follow all the steps that they told us to do. I'm a person, that's why knowledge is important. But don't get knowledge and not execute. Execute on what you learn. Like, most of us have so much information. If you would just implement what you already know.
That's it. That is so true. I see you posted something on your wall with was it a contract, or I think it was you just joined the organization just recently, about a few days ago. He's a part of an organization. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it Goldman Sachs, or was it I'm a part of Goldman Sachs. I got into C200. That's through Dawson College, and then we just got in with Coca-Cola. Was it one with Coca-Cola? That one.
That's when we saw Coca-Cola. Okay.
Basically, through the SBA, there's an organization called SBDC, Small Business, whatever the acronym. I have a coach, and he was telling me, he said, Coca-Cola, BDC, Small Business Development Council. They're on for the SBA. So people like myself, small businesses like you, get a coach. The coach was free. So he knows that I like education. He knows that I've been through the Goldman Sachs program, C200. I'm in a class now through Dawson College as a result of going to Goldman Sachs. C200, they chose 15 women. At the end of this, we're going to get $25,000 in about 4 weeks. That was a grant. And all that's tied to like Arthur Blank and all these things.
Wow.
Grants and stuff. But I sit here and dig. That's my job because I don't have a 9 to 5. I have to figure out how to keep my company. So Coca-Cola, we got in with them, and they're going to train us how to do business with them and other global companies. So that's where I'm headed. I'm just a real estate agent.
I got to give a round of applause on that, right? That right there. I mean, you got so many irons in the fire. I mean, just so many great things that it's just an inspiration to a lot of people. Hey guys, thank you for watching our show. We're going to interrupt you real quickly. We are in the business of referrals. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, residential or commercial, here in the North Carolina area, refer us. We really appreciate that. Did anybody ever ask you to be like a motivational speaker? No, because you can inspire so many people.
You would not believe I can talk to you like this all day, but if you put me on the stage in front of people, and I'm just
I know, right? I know. So I know, right? So in front of people, we're just you on one-on-one. It's like we had that meeting before. You was going, and we were just soaking in that great knowledge. So now that you got the certifications, you're part of so many different organizations. How do you find the time to juggle so many? You ever sleep?
So that's the thing. So like with the Zillow account, I have like 13 agents now. You have to delegate and pass that off. I do what's most important to me now, most urgent to me now. So I'm forming my team out. We're scaling and we're growing. My job is because I know how to find knowledge. I'm like business data capture management. That is what I mainly do all day. But it's like I literally don't have time to play, go out or anything. Sit here and figure out ways and different streams of income. And I'm bringing in more people, and more people are excited to join me. So that's where we are.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It has to be the sacrifice, and I just look at myself that I'm the chosen one that he chose to build up this legacy.
Wow. So you're clearly the spokesperson, the inspiration in terms of with your office and the teacher. What's that culture like within your company? Let's talk about the company. So in case somebody in the area might listen and want to be a part of it, tell us about the company, the culture, and some of the great things you're doing for the agents.
Okay, so our culture is wonderful. You know, I'm like a little extrovert, and people just kind of like to be around me. I'm like the butterfly, and I love to inspire, and I love to show my agents you can do more than just this. So I'm already positioning my agents. Don't set yourself up like a real estate company. You want to set yourself up like a consulting company. Paying you your money, I'm helping you build past performance. So not only are they able to find out from the real estate standpoint, but they're positioning themselves to become a person like me, not just selling houses. So the culture is wonderful because they're learning and they're growing and they're excited. And also, as I was telling you earlier about the Zillow piece, they're looking for more minority brokers. And I have a lot of brokers on my team. And hopefully we'll be able to position everybody out to go and get a piece of their own pie, building up this building. And just
keep that inspiration going.
And I'm not because one day I'm going to be old, and hopefully all the seeds I've planted, some of that will come back to me.
Correct, and it definitely will. You know, I'm a big advocate. What I tell people is that you provide as much. Don't always look at a situation where how can I benefit. You know, but to me, my thing is a lot of times when you do things without the idea of getting a return, you'd be surprised. Your blessings could have came from you walking down the street, nothing bad happening to you, right? You know, so the blessing didn't come right then and there, but it could have came from somewhere else. You know, so that's kind of the approach I take at things. When I look at things when you give back and without necessarily gaining right there.
Yeah, and the answer used to be no, no, no. That's all yes, yes, yes.
That's
and
it.
That's the things that you put out. I remember going to those conferences. I used to come home and cry. Like, I spent all this money flying out here, and it just seemed like it did not turn into anything. Just because you went to a conference, you don't get, it's no guarantee. So you got to keep going and don't ever give up.
So let me make sure I understand everything. Get the education, apply it, and don't give up. Execute. You know, the thing is, Labrescia, is that is so common when people say it. That literally is the golden goose there, right? Because one of them things people give up on. Hey, I didn't see results now, so let me give up. I'm not going to read that book because I don't feel like reading. The book is going to give you the instructions to go to the next step.
Absolutely. You just can't give up, and it's always like the small things that you don't do. I was going to tell this other little thing about. Remember the person they were saying the train had stopped. They were on their way somewhere, and the guy on the train knew how to fix it. And I think they said he only hit it 2 times. But when he sent the bill, it was like $10,000. They were like $10,000, but you didn't do anything. He said, but I knew where to hit it. So when and how, don't give up. The cards you get, call people back, email them back a month later. Like I literally have a calendar. Even the guy that gave me the contract, the first contract, we went back to their conference again. I literally emailed him. It's on my calendar. Keep emailing because the agency gets new money every year. You know what I mean? And then we're doing a good job. Don't ask for it and then embarrass us.
Correct. Exactly. 100% right.
You gotta lead with excellence. So I don't play games. Like I literally want to build an empire and I want to do it with excellence.
Wow. And also I think I do want to add. I think one element we did miss is surrounding yourself around good people like yourself and people who are on the same path with you, because it plays so much important role in your journey. Okay? Labrescia, let me ask you something here. And we can start to wind down because I know you're a busy person, and we ask every guest for 2 golden nuggets, right? 2 golden nuggets that, whether it's an inspiration, a quote, a scripture, a good book, a good movie, anything that you're going to pass on to our audience. I mean, you said a lot as it is, but go ahead and go.
And I had more than 2. Okay.
Yeah, okay. If you got more, go ahead and go.
Yourself for greatness. Don't lose your passion. Never stop learning how the game is being played. Put God in first in your life. Be intentional and execute.
And I like that. The last thing I want to ask you is there a question that you wish I would have asked you that you would love to answer?
I think you did an excellent job. Is there something that most people say that I'm not saying? What do most people
Well, now, please, I think you said it. I think you kind of said everything. You said some inspirational. You told about the story, the culture of your company, government contracting, how you started. I'm figuring that might be it. I just figure you might want to pass on another good jewel or two.
I'm excited about what you're doing. I think it's awesome. Keep up the good work.
Well, and I'm gonna put this out there. I just think that maybe the reason I started this was actually I was in a conference in NAR in 2017, and it was a commercial real estate company, and they're out of Atlanta. I'm not gonna mention his name. So I was there, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, I look around, I don't see nothing like us. So let me go ahead and start something to give us our flowers now, right? That particularly deals with the real estate professional in the business, thinking about getting into the business, season one, how we can just kind of pass good jewels on and pass good insight. Because I was also thinking, translate this into a conference, with us. Hey, listen, with smart people like yourself, and then the ones who just get in the game and learn. Something good.
If you need me any type of way, and I will keep you posted on the Zillow stuff.
Oh, please do. So look, let me end off and say right here, we want to thank Miss Labrescia Dawson with Dawson Realty and Mortgage, as well as Dawson's Management, which she does her government contracting. And we want to thank her for being on the show. We'll see you all next time on the Headley Group Real Estate Show.
Thank you. Good job.
Hey, gang, I hope you really enjoyed that show. Our guests provide us some great tips and insight, and please support them on all social media platforms. And while I'm saying that, support us on all social media platforms. And don't forget, watch the entire video on YouTube. We'll see you next time.